Tonight on Out and About.
Yes, it's about food, but also it's about the conversation and being relaxed in an environment that's pleasant.
I guess the more I did it, the more I wanted to do it. One moment like that can change your life and just set you on a whole new direction.
And there's just opportunities as a child to witness the magic that is art.
The main thing that I think about is making sure that my customer has a good experience. That's the most joy. They're happy at the end of the day.
Go Out and About.
Giorgio Pizza Bar is a endless love affair for a great pie, a great pizza, but also this space, the experience of Giorgio's Pizza Bar is an experience that elevates the guest from the point of view of it was created from the sense of film and fashion. Of course, we throw a little football in, soccer and American terms. So I think creating that romance of a space where you can enjoy a great pizza, but also, of course, Jeff and the team here spend a lot full experience where, yes, you can have a great pie, but also you can enjoy a perfect salad or a slow cooked braised duck leg with pasta or a nice simple margarita pizza. So I think the level of food comes straight from the heart, and it's highest quality of ingredients. This was a challenge and an opportunity because the space was a little complicated. So my intention was, how can I bring that romance, the timeless romance of Italy and its food and its love for food and its love for simple flavors. You know, it doesn't have to be complicated. That's the beauty of Italian flavors and the culture. But then I was always enthused by the fashion of Italy and the film industry. So a lot of that is reflected with icons and a gallery of wall that reflects that. Because who doesn't love romance? No matter what age you are, you have this kind of Italian romance of film and fashion that is always relevant. So when you gather around a table like this, to have an ambience that allows you to flourish, to blossom in a way that you're uniting with your family or friends. It's yes, it's about food, but also it's about the conversation and being relaxed in an environment that's pleasant. Las Ramblas is to awaken all your senses with flavors, with conversation, with joy, with the energy of the Spanish culture. And of course, Las Ramblas being located in the famous street of Barcelona, which I spent many, many years, and I enjoy the Spanish culture and the food and the celebration of Spain. I thought it was very appropriate for North Hills and its vibrant community to activate the same energy and all the senses of authentic and some contemporary tapas that people can share and enjoy. It's a great experience for the community. I have the pleasure of designing the restaurants and having fun doing it. So I decided to put the wine, which was the main focus, right in the middle of the dining room because I think it allowed the guest experience to have different experiences within one space, but also it's the main focus and it's functional in the way of operating it. The Spanish wines there are a big focus of the conversation and tapas. A little bite, a little glass of wine, a good conversation, some laughter. The individuals can enjoy a good conversation. It's a great place to gather and meet others. Curate the best ingredients, prepare them simply with a lot of extra care and love with individuals that enjoy what they're doing, and allow the guests to feel satisfied but not overwhelmed with too much food that is sometimes wasted, which is not proper. So I like the fact that the guests can enjoy and repeat that on a consistent basis, that they can be back in more regular basis that way. To come visit Giorgio Pizza Bar and Las Ramblas. The information for our company is Giorgio's Hospitality Group, so you can go to giorgiosgroup.com and you have various offerings of restaurants, and you can see the directions of Giorgio Pizza Bar and Las Ramblas. And it would be the greatest joy to serve you and see you at one of our venues at North Hills.
Liberty Arts is a nonprofit artist collective and studio space. It's a little bit of everything, but essentially it's just a group of people who love art and want to keep making it and find it easier to make it together. It all basically started a couple of decades ago when a group of sculpture artists wanted to create the Bull downtown. So they needed space to make that. You know, it's a really large metal sculpture. So they were renting out of the Liberty warehouses that were downtown. And they built a foundry and they made this big sculpture, and it was a great success, and they wanted to continue making art together. So it started as a metal sculpture and foundry, and since then has kind of grown to include a lot of artists from every different medium. So we've got ceramics, wood carving, we've got lots of different types of metal artists, from plasma cutting to large sculpture to small jewelry, several mixed media artists now, as well as letterpress. I hope I haven't left anyone out, but a little bit of everything. I am a weaver, but I get excited also by dyeing and sewing and embroidery and anything that kind of touches textiles and fiber art. I got into it, I guess, because, well, weaving specifically, I took a class on a whim something like 8 or 9 years ago. I was working as a web developer at the time. I've always enjoyed technology and that kind of thing, but also enjoyed sewing, etc. I was working for a fabric company and I wanted to learn more about how fabric is made. So I took a weaving class just on a whim one time, and I fell absolutely in love with it, and it kind of took over my life. I started by weaving scarves. You can only wear one scarf at a time. You can only give so many scarves to your family and friends before they all have enough scarves, and you still want to keep making things that you can't use in your life. So I started selling off extra pieces on Etsy, and just, I guess the more I did it, the more I wanted to do it. One moment like that can change your life and just set you on a whole new direction.
Lady Pilot Letterpress is a one-woman shop. It is a all hand-printed letterpress studio. I focus primarily on sarcastic greeting cards. I sometimes do sweet ones just to keep a balance in there. And I do a little bit of custom, and I also teach. I teach handset type to beginners, people who've never printed before, and always find that really thrilling. I love it because it's incredibly tactile, actually similar to most of the arts that we have here at Liberty. I like having my hands on things. I like knowing that when I make something, that part of me has been part of each part of that process. And I even think about the fact that when I send cards mostly to stores. I have stores across the country, some stores in Europe, that by the time somebody, say in Spain, I have a store in Spain, buys a card that I made, I've probably touched that card about 5 times in the process of making it and bagging it and putting it in a box and shipping it to another country. And that feels very cool to me, to feel like there is a human connection that goes into everything that I make. And then when somebody else picks it up, there's some way, kind of indirectly, we're connected. And I think that is really beautiful.
So this is a super tiny tapestry created with one of the smallest looms I've ever seen. And I really like these looms because they are very small and approachable, and so they're perfect to teach people the basics of weaving with. And everyone can make a tiny woven piece they get to take home. Ceramics classes are one of our most popular. They go on literally multiple times a week. We also have glass blowing classes, which are super cool. Welding classes, plasma cutting classes, jewelry classes, there's pipe making classes, there's a little bit of everything. Come on out to Liberty Arts. You can take a class here. You can see what we're up to on any third Friday of the month, or you can check out our website at libertyartsnc.org.
We are excited to start the 2023 season for the Durham Bulls, and we're going to kick it off on Saturday, March 4th with a Fan Fest, which is family friendly and open to the public, and it's a free event held at the Durham Bulls Athletic Park. We are excited for the 2023 season for the Durham Bulls to kick off on Friday, March 31st with our opening night and celebration of our championship season. In addition, we'll have all the family favorites, which will include all of our fireworks nights, as well as Bark in the Park and some of those promotional nights that you are always accustomed to with the Durham Bulls that'll be announced soon. We're excited for everyone to come out to the ballpark this year to see not only the renovations that have been going on, but also we're a family-friendly environment, and also make sure that we have something fun for every age to do at the ballpark. So from one side of Woolies World to, again, all of our fun new merchandise that's going to open up in the new team store, also being able to walk by on the street, see the new batting cages. All of this is, again, a fan-friendly atmosphere for all ages to come out and have fun at the ballpark. To get more information on all of our events, visit durhambulls.com.
It feels more like the old days, and they realize that they're a part of something new.
Raleigh Little Theater is a community theater, which means it's here for the community. And all the actors and the crew are not paid, they are volunteer. It's a lot of time, and you have to have a great passion for theater, which my cast does for sure. Fancy Nancy the musical is based on the series of books Fancy Nancy, and it is all about Fancy Nancy wanting to be a mermaid in this dance recital. The 7 actors who are playing all of Fancy Nancy's friends, they are embodying these characters. They're so funny. The dialogue is hysterical. And I'm working with a wonderful choreographer and musical director that the 3 of us are helping to put this kind of story on the stage. We open on March 17th, and we have a special sensory-friendly production on April 1st. People can get tickets by going to RaleighLittleTheater.org. And on the home page, you'll see a big Fancy Nancy picture, and if you just click it, it'll take you to a tickets page. You could also find the phone number of the box office there and just give our box office a call.
Vinstridge came to be really, I had the idea in the middle of the pandemic. I spent a fair amount of time on Bald Head Island with my children and my extended family, and while that was amazing, I did a lot of cooking and cleaning and cooking and cleaning and cooking and cleaning. So I thought, wow, what if there were like a fridge that I could just go and any time of day or night, open it up and get something great that I could then just heat up. And not for one person, but for multiple people.
I thought it sounded really cool. The first thing I thought about was, oh, that's great. I can't wait to, be able to have easy access to her food. I wasn't thinking of it for business purposes immediately. Having it in front of wine shops gives you great access to be able to say, I'm getting ready to take a meal home to the family. If I'm not necessarily as wine savvy as like a restaurant is, or a sommelier or something like that, how am I going to be able to, know what wine goes with this? One of the dishes that she's done really well that we enjoyed, this dish with caramelized onions and short ribs. It's very rich, bold, flavorful kind of thing. So I picked out this really nice Rioja from this small producer that we discovered a few years ago. It's a very rich, bold flavored wine made with top quality oak barrels. It's very intense and flavorful, and it plays really nicely with those very intense flavors of short ribs. The next one is one that goes with her chicken and winter vegetable pot pie. This is a wine from Southwest France. It has some earthiness to it because you're being served root vegetables, things like rutabagas and turnips and things like that, and those are going to give you some earthy flavors. And so having a wine that has a little bit of earthiness will kind of cancel out those flavors together and allow you to taste the other things that are present. So a little bit of the fruit flavor comes forward on this when you block out some of the earthiness. Some of the herbs that she's using in that dish will actually come forward a little bit more if you block out the earthiness that comes from the root vegetables. This is a wine from outside of Rome in an area called Lazio. It's a red blend. It is the wine that we chose to go with the tomato soup with the beer bread cheese sticks. You've got the real juiciness, the mouth-watering acidity of tomatoes. So this is a not real heavy Italian red. It's more medium-bodied, but it has really juicy acidity, really nice fruit, just really delicious flavors that play nicely with the tomatoes that are in that soup. To finish off, we have this beautiful wine from Portugal. This is to go with the winter citrus and shaved fennel salad. Instead of using vinegar in a vinaigrette, she's using citrus juice. So that's why it's a citronette. But citric acid and malic acid that's present in wine actually play really nicely. And so these two would actually, kind of give you a nice, refreshing, lighter kind of experience. Really good stuff.
We have dining rooms that you can only dine in. We have kitchens that you can only cook in. And we're only using them for a small period of the day. But we're cooking all day long and we're working all day long, but we're only bringing in revenue for about 4 or 5 hours a night. I'm not saying that the fridge structure works necessarily without the restaurant, but I think now that we're seeing this, forward movement and, we're cooking, and you can't keep up. My team, it feels more like the old days, and they realize that they're a part of something new and it matters. I hope everybody will come check out Viv's Fridge. We have them all over the Triangle and Eastern North Carolina. And if you want to learn more and see our ever-changing menu, go to vivsfridge.com or to our Instagram at Viv's Fridge.
Art changes lives. I would give anything to have something like this organization when I was growing up here. So it thrills me to come down here and see places like Theatre Raleigh and NCT, and I'm sure there's so many other ones that were not here and touring companies come in. And there's just opportunities as a child to witness the magic that is theater, to witness the magic that is art.
A donation to these arts councils through Big Night In creates opportunities for artists to create more exciting and beautiful work in our communities.
Big Night In for the Arts is your one time each year to tune in for 1 hour and see headliners from all over the Triangle performing. Grammy-nominated country musician Reese Palmer.
Tony Award-winning musical theater artist Beth Level.
Indie folk duo Chatham Rabbits.
Piedmont laureate and spoken word artist Dasan Ahanu.
Internationally renowned public artist Patrick Doherty.
TikTok sensation dancers Cost and Mayer.
And Venezuelan Appalachian folk music duo Larry and Joe.
We've been all across this country, and la verdad, como acá,
no hay.
Yeah, there's no place like here. We've got more performing arts centers than most places do. So we're lucky, We love making music in North Carolina, and thankfully there's all these wonderful places to do it.
Big Night In for the Arts, March 9th, 7 o'clock, WRAL. Be there or be square. That's all.
Family affair hometown cooking is good for the soul. And the reason why is because everything that we do is done with love. That's like the perfect ingredient to whatever you're doing, whether you're cooking or something else. If you do it with love and integrity and respect, it comes out right. We started right at the beginning of COVID. My background was in healthcare, and COVID just kind of took things for a nosedive. And so it's something we had been wanting to do for a while, but we needed that nudge, and the pandemic was that nudge for us. So we prayed about it, we thought about it, we prayed about it some more. And then we decided, we're gonna do this. We're gonna have this family-owned business, and we're gonna feed people, because regardless of what happens, people still have to eat. Figured out, what dimensions we need, all the things that we had to have, and from there, I told our builders, okay, this is what we're thinking. An 8x20 food trailer, I need a stove, I need a griddle, I need an oven, I needed a fryer, because I knew, with hometown cooking, family food, we're gonna bake things. We do a lot of things from scratch.
A lot of people will say it's well seasoned. It's seasoned to perfection. Even when people ask for it, can I get a salt packet or something like that? We be sure to let them know, well, you might want to try your food first. Taste it first and try your fries, because we do put seasoning on everything.
I keep my recipes like really clutch, really close to me. Honestly, a lot of it is just by memory and feel. It's not so much like a cookbook as, you know, I need a quarter of this or a half a teaspoon of that. It's just by feel, and that's why I said at the beginning, you know, it's love, you know, it's food for the soul. There could be a pinch of this or, you know, a handful of something else. So it's not really a written down recipe. It's just things that's just been passed down from generation to generation. Family is one of the most important things for me. Be able to show my son, who's 16 now, that when you work together as a unit, as a family, and can cohesively get things done, there's really nothing that you can't do on the outside world. So working with family and being able to talk about how things went, how it was at the end of the day, how we felt we did, and get their opinions about things, and ask my 16-year-old, well, how do you think you did in customer service or running the window? What do you think you can do better? The main thing that I think about is making sure that my customer has a good experience. If they enjoy my food and they tell me it's good, that it was like the best they've ever had, that's the most rewarding thing, to have someone come back and tell you, oh my God, your cheesesteaks were so amazing, or that loaded steak potato bowl was so good. That's the most joy, making sure that they're happy at the end of the day. This is Family Affair Hometown Cooking. You can find us on Street Food Finder. You can also visit our website at familyaffairhometowncooking.com or give us a call at 919-647-9815.